Hello, my name is Mirabel. I'm very glad to share with you the life story of all the best rapper in America. Please subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos about your idols. The Notorious B.I.G. Christopher George Notor Wallace, better known by his stage names, the Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, and simply Biggie, was an American rapper rooted in East Coast hip hop, and particularly gangster rap. He is cited in various media lists as one of the greatest rappers of all time. Wallace became known for his distinctive laid-back lyrical delivery, upsetting the lyrics but grimmed content. His music was often semi-autobiographical, telling of hardship and criminality, but also the debauchery and celebration. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York City, Wallace signed to Sean Puffy Cohn label Bad Boy Records as a launch in 1983 and gained exposure through his features on several other artists' singles that year. His debut album, Ready to Die, was met with widespread critical acclaim and included his signature songs, Juicy and Big Papa. The albums made him the center figure in its coast of hip hop and restored New York visibility at a time when the West Coast hip hop scene was dominating hip hop music. Wallace was awarded the 1985 Billboard Music Award Rapper of the Year. The following year, he led the Project Rip Junior Mafia, a team of himself and longtime friends, including Lil Kim, to Tupac. During the 1996, while recording his second album, Wallace became ensnared in the escalating East Coast, West Coast hip hop food, following Tupac Shakur murder in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas in September 1986. Speculations of involvement in Shakur murder by criminals elements operating the Bad Boy circulated as a result of Wallace's public feud with Shakur. On March 9, 1987, 6 months after the Shakur murder, Wallace was murdered by an unidentified salesman in a drive-by shooting while visiting Los Angeles. Wallace's second album, Life After Death, a double album, was released 2 weeks later. It reached #1 on the Billboard 200 and eventually achieved the Diamond certification in the United States. With two more posthumous albums released, Wallace has certified sales by over 28 million copies in the United States, including 21 million albums. Rolling Stone has called him the greatest rapper that ever lived, and then Billboard named him the greatest rapper of all time. The Source magazines named him the greatest rapper of all time in his 150 issues. In 2006, MTV ranked him at #3 on the list of greatest MCs of all time, calling him possibly the most skillful ever on the mic. In 2020, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. About his life and career from 1972 to 1991, his early life. Christopher George Latour Willis was born in St. Mary's Hospital in New York City, borough of Brooklyn, on May 21st, 1982. The only child of Jamaican immigrant parents. His mother, Violetta's Wallace, was a preschool teacher, while his father, Chauvin George Latour, was a welder and politician. His father left the family when Wallace was 2 years old, and his mother worked 2 jobs while raising him. Wallace grew up in 226 St. James Place in Brooklyn, Clinton Hill, near the border of the Bedford-Stuyvesant. Raised in Catholic, Wallace excelled at Cream about St. Middle School, winning several awards as the English student. He attended St. Peter Claver Church in the borough. He was nicknamed Big because he was overweight by the age of 10. Wallace claimed to have begun dealing in drug at about age 12. His mother, often at work, Fred learned of this during his adulthood. He began rapping as a teenager, entertaining the people on the street, and performing in the local group, the Old School Brothers, as well as the Techniques. His earliest stage name was MC C. West. At his request, Wallace transferred from Bishop Laughlin Memorial High School in Forest Green to George Westinghouse Career and Technical Education High School in downtown Brooklyn, with future rapper Jay-Z. Busta Rhymes was also attending. According to his mother, Wallace was still a very good student, but developed a smart ass attitude at a new school. At the age of 17 in 1989, Wallace dropped out of school and became more involved in crime. The same year, in 1989, he was arrested on weapon charges in Brooklyn and sentenced to 5-year probation. In 1990s, he was arrested on the violation of his probation. A year later, Wallace was arrested in North Carolina for dealing crack cocaine. He spent 9 months in jail before making bail. About 9, especially about the 1994, he Ready to Die and married to Faith Evans. On August 4th, 1984, Wallace married R&B singer Faith Evans, whom he met 8 years prior to the Bad Boy photo shoot. 5 days later, Wallace has first pop chart success as a solo artist with a double A side, Jersey's Unbelievable, which reached number 27 as the lead single to his debut album. Ready to Die was selected on September 13th, 1984. It reached number 13 on the Billboard 200 chart and was eventually certified 4 times platinum. The album shifted attention back to the East Coast hip hop. At the time when West Coast hip hop dominated the US chart, it gained strong reviews and has received much praise and respect. In addition to the jerseys, the record produced as 2 singles. The platinum-selling Big's Papa, which reached number 1 on the US rap chart, and One More Chance, which sold 1.1 million copies. In 1985, Busta Rhymes claimed to have seen Wallace giving out free copy of Ready to Die from his home, which Rhymes reasoned as his way of marketing himself. About 1997, Life After Death. On January 27th, 1997, Wallace was ordered to pay $40,000 in damage following an incident involving a friend of concert promoter who claims Wallace and his entourage bid him following a dispute in May 1985. He faced criminal assault charge for the axe incident, which remains unresolved, but the robbery charge was dropped. Following the event, Wallace spoke to the desire to focus on his peace of mind and his family and friends. In February 1997, Wallace traveled to California to promote his album Life After Death, to record the music videos for his lead single Hypnotize. The month of Wallace was involved in a domestic dispute with girlfriend Charlie Baltimore at the Four Seasons Hotel. Our pictures Wallace and all the girls. Wallace had totally seized the night prior to the back with the photos of the brown, but he is not. Charlie Baltimore ended up throwing Wallace's ring and watch from the hotel window. They later found a watch but did not recover the ring. On March 8, 1997, Wallace attended Soul Train Award as the party hosted by Vibe and Quest Record at the Preston's Automotive Museums. Guests included Evans, Alaya, a member of the Bloods and Crips gangs. The next day at 13 and 12:30 a.m. PST, after the fire department closed the party early due to the overcrowding, Wallace left with his little entourage in a 2 GMC Suburban to return to his hotel. He traveled in the front passenger, sits alongside associated Diamond, Durag Baller, Lisa's then driver Gregory, G-Money Young, come to travel in another vehicle with 2 bodyguards. The 2 were trailed by a Chevrolet Blazer. carrying Bad Boy director to security pole of offward. By By 12:45 a.m., the street was crowded with people leaving the party. Wallace and the SUV stopped at the red line 50 yards from the Peterson automotive movie, and a black shabby Impala pulled up down alongside it. The Impala driver, an unidentified African American man dressed in blue suit and bow tie, rolled down his window, drew a 9mm blue steel pistol, and fired at Wallace's car. Four bullets hit Wallace, and his injured subsequently rushed him to Sinai's medical center, where doctor performed an emergency thoracotomy, but he was pronounced dead at 1:15 a.m. He was 24 years old. His autopsy was realized 15 years after his death, so that his only final shot was fatal. It entered through his right upper hip and struck his colon, liver, heart, and left lung before stopping in his left shoulder.